Hello, today we are going to learn about tuples in Python. A tuple is a type of data structure that allows us to store multiple values together, similar to a list. However, unlike lists, tuples are immutable, which means that once they are created, their values cannot be changed. This makes them useful in situations where you need to store data that should remain constant. Tuples are represented using parentheses. For example, if we create a tuple of car brands, it might look like this: Chevrolet, Kia, and Mercedes inside parentheses. If we want to add more elements, we can combine two tuples together. For example, if we have another tuple with BMW and Ford, we can combine the two tuples into one. Python allows this using the plus sign, which joins the two tuples together. If we need to repeat the same tuple multiple times, we can use the multiplication operator, which duplicates the tuple as many times as we specify. Now let's look at a basic practice exercise. Imagine we have two tuples, one with numbers 1 to 5 and another with numbers 6 to 9. If we combine them, the new tuple will contain 1 through 9. If we repeat the first tuple 3 times, it will simply repeat its elements. One important thing to remember is that tuples cannot be modified. If we try to change an element inside a tuple, Python will give us an error. For example, if we try to change the first element of a tuple from 6 to 10, Python will prevent us from doing so. You can combine two tuples using the plus operator and repeat a tuple using the multiplication operator. However, you cannot modify, add, subtract, or replace individual items in a tuple because tuples are immutable. If you need to change a tuple, you must create a new one with the desired modifications. Another important detail is that if you create a tuple with only one element, you must add a comma after it. So you have to add comma after 5 here so that the computer does not recognize this as just an integer with parentheses. Otherwise, Python might confuse it with just a regular number instead of a tuple. Now let's explore some useful tuple operations. Just like lists, tuples support indexing and slicing. If we have a tuple with 3 car brands, we can access each brand by its position. Remember, Python starts counting from 0. So if we want to get the first brand, we use index 0. If we want to extract multiple items, we can use slicing to select only a portion of the tuple. Tuples also come with 2 built-in methods that are very useful. The first one is count, which tells us how many times a specific value appears in a tuple. The second is index, which tells us the position of a specific value inside the tuple. Let's apply this to a practice example. Suppose we have a tuple with Chevrolet, Kia, and Mercedes. If we check the count of Kia, we will see that it appears once. If we check the index of Mercedes, it will show position 2 since Python starts counting from 0. Now, let's do an extra practice exercise. Suppose we have 2 tuples, one with Chevrolet, Kia, and Mercedes, and another with Tesla, Jaguar, and BMW. If we combine them, the result will be a single tuple with all 6 elements. If we repeat the first tuple twice, its contents will simply be duplicated. Another important practice exercise is counting and finding elements inside a tuple. Suppose we have a tuple with numbers from 1 to 6, but some numbers appear multiple times. If we check how many times 5 appears, we might see that it appears twice. If we check the index of 6, we will find its position inside the tuple. Lastly, let's practice slicing tuples. Suppose we have a tuple with numbers from 1 to 6. If we want to slice out only a specific section, such as elements after position 3, we can do that. If we want only the first few elements, we can slice everything up to position 4. And that's it for today's lesson on tuples. Remember, tuples are immutable, meaning they cannot be changed. They are useful for storing fixed data, and they allow indexing, slicing, and built-in methods like count and index. Thank you for listening. See you in the next lesson.